I have to say this is probably the greatest song I've created. This may potentially be the greatest song you've ever heard.
Let's give it a listen.
Clocking in on the hourly grind, tying a leash to the back of my mind, strapped to the chair for the polygraph wire, walking myself back into the fire. I brought the talking stick, I brought the clock, I brought the keys to my own padlock. I thought the shame was a friend of mine, I thought the pain was a finish line. And they say the herd will turn and run and get chased down by the setting sun. But if you look it in the eye, you'll break into an open sky. So I played the bison, I leaned into the wind, I let the hurricane tear off my skin. And I stood in the center, I took every hit, thinking I'd finally walk out of it. But there was no clearing, there was no end. There was no end. Reset the date, reset the clock, swallow the key, rattle the lock. A simple hug, a simple pledge, balancing on a razor's edge. I tried to strengthen the muscle of grief, I tried to buy a single second of relief. I was a cow in a slaughterhouse line, begging the butcher to give me a sign. The herd will turn and run and get chased down by the setting sun. But if you charge the hurricane, you buy your freedom with the pain. So I played the bison, I leaned into the wind, I let the hurricane tear off my skin. And I stood in the center, I took every hit, thinking I'd finally walk out of it. But there was no clear end in sight, there was no end. I just got comfortable sitting in the shame. You can walk through a hurricane because a hurricane ends, but you can't walk through the wind. When the wind just is. Took every hit, thinking I'd finally walk out of it. But there was no clearing, there was no end. I played the bison, waiting for the sun. The storm was just you. Look what I've done.
Ooh. Damn.
Real shit in there, dude. Real shit in there.
Woo. Yeah, that's
Wow. Yeah, I just want to give you some props because your lyrical writing is phenomenal. Because that's all the lyrics are coming from you, right? These are you're not generating these. These are straight from the heart. This is journaling.
Well, to be fully transparent there, no. I am involved in the process, and the all of the songs are captured from a journal entry, transcripts, or a concept.
Mm-hmm.
And there is this entire creative process that is using AI assisted tools to create storytelling arcs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's taking all, I question even what makes a song sometimes. Like, does it really have to follow any kind of mold? And so I am encouraged to say that I have 100% complete ownership over the rights of writing these lyrics, but it is the AI tool telling me that.
Oh man. Well, it's just it's so incredible because that's the first thing that captures me is like Justin was saying when I have the lyrics up and I can read them, like it's taking you on a ride. And I'll be honest, I was a musician for a long time. You know, I've played music for 25 years, and that was always the hardest part is getting into that creative flow and constructing a lyrical story that will take you on that ride and evoke those emotions. And this app, this program, whatever you want to call it, it does it so well. And you know, like I find myself like tearing up a little bit, or I find myself like, ooh, that hits. You know, that there's that line there. You know, I just got comfortable in the shame.
Yep, that
I
hit
was
me.
like, woo,
Yep.
damn.
What's magical there, and I want to lean in there because that's actually something that happened when the lyrics were going, and I looked over, and all of you, like all of us, were in that moment. What is where it's almost scary. Not only do I think we all, as men who have been raised by like whatever, acting as unhealthy men, can identify with this song and how, dude, our heart is good, but everybody's telling us we have to take this fucking bullshit to see the other side, but there is no other side. A hurricane I can at least walk through because it'll leave, but this is just fucking wind. This is air. I can't like do anything with. So it gets to that really raw moment. But the magical part that makes this the most perfect song for me is the tonality of the song and the grit and the just, I don't even know what chords are involved there that touches that emotion. It was like just like it has nothing to do with words anymore. And when you have that physical reaction to it, I can play the song. Like I can be in a whatever mood. I put that song on because I know where that song's going to go. It's almost like that first hook. I'm like, okay, instant. I know where this is going and I can connect to a centered self or whatever. So
No, I love that. And then I like what you're doing as far as because what you're doing, it does something very interesting, right? And it kind of breaks down that barrier of genres. It's like it's not rock, it's not dubstep, it's not trap, it's not hip hop, it's not country, it's not folk, it's not whatever, right? Like it's kind of devoid of a label. Like you cannot label it because it's drawing influence from so many things and it's breaking down these barriers of like, hey, you know, I'm a hip hop guy, I'm a country guy, I'm this type of guy, right? It's like, no, it's just this just is. And it's authentic and it's meaningful and it will draw things out of you that you're not prepared for because like we kind of alluded to earlier, a lot of the music that's being produced today, it's very sloppish, it's very choked down, it has no meaning, it's just meant to, you know, get plays on the radio and hook you for a little bit and then everybody's going to make a bunch of money off of it, we're going to move on. And it's so refreshing and ironic because it's AI, right? It's, you know, I think we've become so disconnected as people and as humans that this is something that is capturing an element that we've missed or that maybe we've shut down on ourselves because we've gotten so used to sitting in noise and sitting in the slop You know, like we've become very disconnected from spirit, from mind, from heart. You know, there's a lot of stigma on sharing these deep concepts outside of a therapist office or whatever. You know, like we're supposed to present this image like we're all polished up and we're perfect and we don't make mistakes. You know, the Instagram or TikTok mindset. You know, I think that's one of the most toxic things that especially young people, men and women, it's not a gender thing. It's a human thing. Like everybody has gotten so used to presenting and performing that I think we've kind of lost touch with authentic human connection. And that's part of the reason I wanted to start a podcast, because I'm like, man, there's so much noise. There's so many hurricanes going on. And, you know, like nobody just sits in the wind. Like the song was saying, the wind just is. You don't need to fight it. You don't need to prepare for it. You don't need to build technology to, escape it. Like it just is. Sit in it. And that's why it's beautiful to me. That's what it speaks to me. You know, like that's, man, well done on these, because these are fantastic.
Yeah.
And I hate admitting that, because I'm one of those guys like, man, AI, gay, or whatever it is. Like,
There's a lot of people out there like that too. And actually, I was going to say something to you, Noel, about this too, because your first song was even alluding to like, oh, people are just going to think of this as AI-slop. And then Jordan, you're saying, but there's authenticity in there. And you know what I think of this? When I look at you, Noel, I think of you as like a director of a movie or a conductor of the big bands. You know what I mean? Is the conductor now he's not being authentic in the way he orchestrates? Is the director not being authentic in the way he makes his movie? Where does it stop and where does it begin of the authenticity? So like when I see people like yourself doing this shit with AI and there's real authenticity, as Jordan's pointing out here too, coming through, I was tearing, bro. That's not coming from just fucking nothing. That's coming because there's real shit in there that goes much deeper than this surface level, like you're saying, Jordan. People, Taylor Swift,
My
bro.
hash 247 platform 10.
Okay, River.
Closeout complete masters were already published before.
Okay, River. Thank you.
Fuck yeah, River. Let's get it. All these guys who are the radio sensation hits, billionaire, right? All surface level shit. How many times you sing a song about breaking up with their boyfriend? And that's where it's at. And you're right. It's appealing to the masses because that's where they're at, is they stay on this surface level. But each one of them all have that deeper element that maybe they only do show in the therapy, closed doors, But so, dude, to you, man, if anyone ever questions because it's not authentic because you're using AI, I say fuck that. You're a fucking director. You're the conductor of the band. You're conducting it. You're making it. You're the most important link in all of it, right? Like,
so well said, Justin. And it's nice, man. It's refreshing. It really is. It's like, oh, sweet. Like, I'll be honest with you, I struggle to find newer music that I actually enjoy. I find myself listening to the same thing I was listening to 20 years ago.
Turning off the noise to listen.
perfect, bro.
It does that.
That's all right. But no, dude, these are great, and I love it, man. It's because I think it's very needed. I think it's really needed. And there's a stigma, like we talked about earlier, to where like we have to present, or we should be speaking in a certain way, or we should avoid hard conversations or controversial topics or what it is. And music has a way of cutting through that. And I miss it, man. Like I really do. I haven't felt excited for music in a long time.